how to become a better player, and I will share my own strategies with you guys. So I'm not saying that these 10 tips and tricks are the only ones and the best ones out there. It's just my personal strategies that I like to use while I play the game. So if you're the type of person who is not getting any wins and you're having a hard time killing your enemies, or just playing the game on a decent level, this video might help you. All right, so yeah, I think that's enough said. Let's jump right into number 10. Alright, starting off with number 10, parachute drop method to land faster and before everyone else. So go ahead on the mini map and mark anywhere in the map. It could be Pochinki, Bootcamp, Hacienda, anywhere. But let's say, for example, you choose a destination. In this case, I'm going to be choosing farm. So when I am 750 meters away, you're gonna drop out and you're gonna look directly down and go sideways. So not like, you're not gonna go front ways with your face ahead. Nope, you're gonna go sideways. In this case, farm is on my left side, so I'm looking directly down while I'm keeping my movement analog, like joystick, to the left. Like, yeah, to the left. And that's what you want to do, because when you do this tip, you're actually going at the fastest pace down, like possible, and that's 234 at a speed of 234. So yeah, that's the fastest way to drop down. And if you use this tip, you will be able to land before everyone else. That's correct. That is correct, and therefore you will have the advantage to get a gun before them and get more loot before them. So you will have a fast start on the match. So this is very, very beneficial. Alright, moving on to number 9. Go along the edges of the blue zone. So what I mean by this is that when there's like few people left and it's the last circle, like there's just you and maybe one other dude or 2 or 3 other people left, then you can use this strategy. I mean, it's just like you have to go along the edges of the zone, like in a circle, just all the way around your enemies, and this is very beneficial. It might help you to get the extra advantage or to capture the chicken dinner, because I usually just use this tip when like there is no cover in the middle, like I see no trees, I see no rocks, I see no houses. So that like kind of forces me to snake, but sometimes I don't like to snake, so I use this tip instead, which is I go alongside the zone, and the enemy won't expect this kind of push because they might think that you're snaking in the middle in the grass, and you're actually coming like from all the way around the circle, and they won't expect this. And this is a very good tip to catch people snaking. It is very good, and this mostly works all the time. I'm not saying that you should do this tip like in all of your matches, but when there's like no cover in the middle of the map and you have no kind of position to take cover from, then this tip might help you. Number 8, how to spot your enemies faster. So when you're playing the game and you're getting shot at and you just have no idea where people are shooting at you, yeah, I've experienced the same thing before, until I started realizing that the enemy is 90% of all the time is always shooting you while he's taking cover. He might be taking cover behind a tree or behind a rock, or he might be inside of a house. Let's say, for example, you're getting shot at from your right side. Then the thing that you want to do is look at your right side and start seeing all the possible cover. Where could this guy be taking cover from? If there's tree, start looking at the trees. If there's rock, look at the rocks. If there's a house, look at all the windows. Your enemy will always be taking shots at you while he's taking cover, some kind of a cover. behind the tree or behind the rock. So that's the message here, and this is just 90% of the time. Always, your enemies will always be thinking about the same. All right, I should camp behind this tree or behind this rock. I'm kind of safe here. So if you're getting shot from whether it's your left side, right side, behind you, just look at the direction and just look at all the cover positions, the trees, the rocks, and all that. That's the only thing, and that's the message here. Number 7. Hip fire in close range, never aim down sight. So this one, there's not much to say about this one. It's pretty simple. So when you're fighting someone and you're very close to them, like the distance is so close between you and the enemy, you should not be aiming down sight. If you are rocking an assault rifle, let's say Groza, AKM, M416, the Scar, and when you're like in such a close like distance between your enemy, like you and your enemy are in a like very you guys are just like very close to each other, like there's no need to aim down sight. Like this clip is a good example of that. You don't need to aim down sight because the recoil is very controllable on these guns, especially when you're shooting your enemies in a very like small distance. So yeah, that's all I have to say for this one. That's the message. Hip fire in close range. Number 6. Don't stand still while looting. So when you're done killing your enemies, like you just finished off your enemy, your opponent, whether it's one person or a full squad, it doesn't even matter. And the next thing that's gonna happen is you're mostly likely gonna loot that person, right? You're gonna grab his loot. And when you do that, I would recommend you not to stand still, like what I'm doing in this clip right here, because if you stand still, you will become a very easy target and you will get sniped in the face just like this by this guy. So don't do that. So what I would advise you guys to do is to have this this movement here, going left and right while looting the bodies, like while looting the loot crate. Just keep going left and right, backwards and forwards, and this is a very good movement. Like your enemy will not be able to hit that first shot on you if there's an enemy having an eye on you from a far distance, like with an 8x scope or 6x scope. So then this movement is very beneficial. You won't get sniped. Number 5. Play with headsets / earphones for a better experience / advantage. Yeah, this is very simple. When you're playing PUBG Mobile, I mean, when I play PUBG Mobile, I always play with headsets / earphones. I mean, like 3 months ago, I usually just played the game with my gaming headsets. Like I have like large Turtle Beach gaming headsets. I use those, but right now, since I'm playing on my new iPhone, which is the 10X Max, I have played the game with my iPhone earphones for the past 2-3 months. So yeah, I mean, the main message here is like you can hear so many things when you're using earphones or headsets, like when someone is sneaking up on you or when someone is driving by behind you. You're gonna be able to hear that way more clearly than if you're playing the game like with no sound at all, or even if you're just playing the game while the game's sound is going out with the phones, the speakers. So yeah, I mean, you should probably try this out because it's going to be a game-changing experience when you're playing the game with headsets. It's more fun, it's more entertaining, and you will have the advantage. You will have a better advantage than you do if you're not using a headset. So yeah, that's my tip for you. Tip number 4. Trick your enemies with fake shots. So I'm going against, like, I can see there's 3 people left, right? Me versus 3 other people, and I can see I mean, these might be the guys, just the last team left, and so I'm pushing towards these guys. And what you want to do is, I mean, you can in a way trick your enemies. It could be by shooting, like fake shooting, or you can also use this trick by with a grenade, for example. So I'm killing this guy right here. He's dead. Then there's two people left. Me versus two people. I see a guy up there on this stage, right on this floor. So I want to get his attention. So what I do here is I swap my M4, shoot at this tree. This guy is looking out from the window. Dang, I get the headshot. This is like, I mean, you can use this tip with like assault rifle. You can also use this tip by throwing a grenade. Like it could be just at a random spot. Like you could throw a grenade like right on your left side, and the enemy will show up. Tip number 3: smoke grenade is actually useful and underrated. So what I always do is when I find smoke grenades, I always carry. I take them. Yep. I usually just carry between 2 and 4 smoke grenades, because I mainly play solo versus squad. But whether you're playing solo or duo versus duo, or you're playing a full team of 4 people, squad against squad, smoke grenade is actually very beneficial. You should be carrying smoke grenade, because you can never know when you need them. Because when you're in a position where you need cover, like you need to take cover and there is no cover around you, you're getting ambushed or you're getting sandwiched between 2 teams, you can throw down the smoke grenades and create some cover, create an invisible wall, that I would call it. Yep, I see the smoke grenade as an invisible wall. As you can see here, I'm in the middle of 2 different teams, so I threw like all my smoke grenades that I had. So I feel better about myself, and I feel like I got the situation under control. So yeah, I mean, smoke grenades is very underrated. You should definitely try it out if you're not using them already. And yeah, this is a very good tactic to use, very good strategy. So I mean, it also confuses the enemy sometimes when you're throwing the smoke grenades. The enemy won't expect you from which direction you're gonna push them, from the left side, from the right side. So yeah. And another thing that I want to point out is that a smoke grenades is also a good way to deal with campers, like with snakes. When you spot a snake, like you scope in and you see a snake there, and you just saw that like at that moment, and you don't know where he is, then you can just throw a bunch of smoke grenade at his direction, and then it's a good way to push him. Like throw all these smoke grenades towards him and then push him afterwards. It will surely confuse the enemy, and yeah, that's one way to take down the snakes. Number 2: vehicle priority and protection. So in this one, we're gonna talk about the vehicles, the cars and the bikes and all that stuff. So when I play PUBG Mobile, I will most likely go ahead and grab the USC. Yes, because the USC is it's so huge and it's so large, and it's so easy to use as protection, as cover. Like, but if there's no USC inside, like if I can't find any USC, then I will go for the Dacia. If there's no Dacia, then I will go for the buggy. I mean the bike, the 2-seated, like the bikes are kind of useless, like to take cover from, because they're so small, so they won't really do the work here. Because as you can see here, I'm using the buggy, and it's just enough so I can use it as cover here in this moment. Because I mean the bike is a dangerous vehicle, because it's so easy to like do a flip and then you fall off the bike, and then you take fall damage and you're almost dead. Then you're gonna heal up again. That's why I love the USC. It's so huge, it's so large. If someone pushes me, I can just get out of my vehicle and just try to fight back. And in this scene, I'm using the Dacia. I can see the enemies trying to kill me with the vehicle explosion. If they try to do that, if you see your enemy shooting at your vehicle, take a few steps back, because they're trying to kill you with that vehicle explosion. So take a few steps back, let them explode the car, or you can take a few steps back and you can shoot at your own car and blow up your own car, and then you might be then you might be feeling more safe about it. As you can see here, I'm getting ambushed from 3 different guys. They're shooting at my vehicle, taking 2 steps back, blowing up my own vehicle so I won't get killed by that explosion, and then I'm trying to fight off these 3 guys. We're fighting for the supply drop. So yeah, my favorite vehicle to use is the USC, and then number 2, Dacia. But the first one is always the USC because it's so big and it's so huge. Alright, number 1, the last tip. Aim at your target faster. So this one is about how you can aim at your target faster, which makes you able to kill your enemies faster at a faster pace, because you're aiming at them way faster than usual. And what you want to do here is that you have a crosshair, whether you're using an assault rifle, sniper rifle, or any gun. As you can see in the middle, you have these white dots, which is called the crosshair. And in the middle, you have this white circle. You want to keep this crosshair towards your enemy. Like, if you know where your enemies is, you want to try to keep that crosshair towards them, as you can see. Because when you do that, and when you scope in, you will automatically be scoping into the enemy. Like, yeah. As you can see here, just keep your crosshair at the enemies. Like, if you know the position of where your enemy is, then push your enemy while you're keeping your crosshair at his direction. You can see I'm always holding my crosshair on the left side because this guy is on my left side. The closer you keep your crosshair on your enemy, the faster reaction you will have, and the faster will you eliminate your opponent. So this is very beneficial, and this is a very good strategy which I recommend all of you guys. It's also very good when it comes to sniping. So as you can see here, I'm getting shot. So as you can see, I'm keeping my crosshair directly at him. So when I scope in, I will have that timing, that advantage of killing him before he can kill me, because I'm already scoped in on him. So yeah, that's my suggestion right there. Use that tip and you might be able to eliminate your enemy before he eliminates you. So here you go, guys, 10 tips and tricks / strategies on how to become a better player. So these was my strategies that I like to use, and now you also know them. So now you can play with me. You can play like me. I mean, at the end of the day, it takes practice. Like, if you want to be a better player, it doesn't matter which game it is. PUBG, Fortnite, Call of Duty. Practice makes you better. Just practice. It makes you a better player. But here's my tips and tricks for you guys. I hope that you learned something new from this video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. More PUBG Mobile videos is always coming out from me. So yeah, let me know what you think of these tips and tricks. Did you already know some of these tips? Did you not? Which one did surprise you? Let me know in the comment section. It's going to be interesting to read. So yeah, I guess that's all I have to say for this one. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.